Let's talk about Angel Massey. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I actually like Angel, but I would have felt some kind of way with how she orchestrated everything. I believe that Angel was more interested in impressing the women than making sure they were all comfortable and having fun. I've been in those situations more times than I want to remember. So I'm going to tell you how I would feel if I was on this trip. Being that I like Angel, but I'm just being truthful. For starters, let me know you really don't care for me back in Potomac. Not when I'm in Colorado on a mountaintop with no running water. I personally would have felt some kind of way when the episode opens and she's sitting at the head of the room expressing her grievances. It just started the trip off all wrong. It made for great TV, but not for a girl's trip. The second thing, you set up a mindfulness treatment, but you can't sit on the floor with me. So I was in total agreement with Stacey. The instructor was like, close your eyes, take a deep breath. And Stacey was like, I don't think so. Mm-mm. The third thing, the women wake up the next morning and they barely have running water. Not a good look, Angel. Now, it wasn't Angel's fault, but it didn't help that she was sitting pretty in her luxurious, beautiful home with running water. And they are on a mountaintop, high and dry. The fourth thing, when they arrive at Angel's home, she introduces the women to her husband and I guess some business partners, business associates, and they were very cold. And my husband happened to be in the room during this scene, and he was like, those men should have stood up to greet the ladies. That's common courtesy. And I didn't initially think about it, but he was correct. And it just confirmed their disrespect and dry attitude they had towards the women. They probably should have called this episode High and Dry. Now, if Bobby would have stood and greeted them, then the other men would have followed suit. Now, when someone treats you like that in their home, I wouldn't want to come back. I would never want to come back to Angel's house. The fifth thing, the festivities end, and now they have to sit in a car for an hour. And I believe Gizelle said it was an hour and a half, but she likes to exaggerate. But at any rate, an hour-long trip back to their high and dry house in the mountains. They arrive back to their place and there are still issues with running water. I think, or rather, I know for a fact, I would have checked out then. Now, in next week's episode, it appears that Gizelle made some new accommodations for herself and the other ladies. Gizelle is a mean girl, but I can't say she's being mean in this instance. That's all I have to say. Let me know what you all think. I am not bashing Angel. I like her, but this was all wrong. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all or talk to you all next week.